Hello and welcome to Saturn Day Sabbath with me, Reiki Master Sharon. And this week has been something else for me. Like, my daughter got sick at school, thinks it's food poisoning, and my cats have been chasing each other. My one cat is healing from being fixed, and the other one's just being a turd, chasing her around. So I have not really gotten a lot of sleep, and I'm not really sure what my message is today, except for I know that a lot of us are dealing with a lot of things in society, at home. We have our children who are going back to school, they're getting sick from each other, and attendance policies are very harsh. And there's a lot of people who are being asked to show up when they don't really want to. There's a lot of people that are operating from burnout, and it's not healthy. There's a point where we have to listen to our bodies and let ourselves heal. And if we don't, it just gets worse. It just barks louder, and we think if we just push through all of these things that somehow it's going to get better, but usually it just gets worse. And with my daughter, she is begging me for chocolate. I don't know why she wants chocolate, but I keep telling her she can't have it right now because she has a history of acid reflux. We don't know if it's that or a lactose sensitivity or some kind of foodborne illness, and I don't want to give her something that's going to make it worse. And then I found out that since we've had so many cutbacks, the CDC is actually only scanning for 2 bacteria in our food instead of the 8 that they used to. So I think it's like salmonella and some kind of E. coli, but they're not scanning for listeria or anything like that anymore. So I'm kind of wondering, like, how is that going to affect us as a society if we're not having our food properly inspected? I mean, I suppose that if we get fresh food and things like that, like lettuce and vegetables and fruit, that we can soak them, but so many people are so used to just being able to rinse it off and eat it that they don't even think about, the fact that that safe wall might not be there anymore, which could lead to a lot more outbreaks and a lot more foodborne illness. And that's scary within itself too, because some of these bacteria are very harmful. So I think today I just want to talk about maybe some things that we can eat that can help with those kinds of things, like killing bacteria and those kinds of things. You can eat raw garlic. Raw garlic is pretty much a medicine for anything. It's like a cure-all, really. It can help you with heart problems. It can help you. It's antibacterial. It's antifungal. It's antiviral if you eat it raw and you have the right kind. Not the elephant garlic, that is basically just an onion. But if you have a real clove of raw, fresh garlic, that is antifungal or antiviral. But once you start cooking it, you start losing its benefits. So if you can find a way to eat it that doesn't upset your stomach, then that's going to be your best bet of getting all of the benefits of garlic. If you can maybe mince them up really small and add it to some guacamole or something like that and eat it that way, it's very beneficial for your health. Some other ones are oregano. I believe oregano is a really good antibacterial herb. You can add that to your soups. They actually sell like a therapeutic oregano oil that you can take by mouth, and if you don't have access to antibiotics and you suspect that there is something that requires an antibiotic, you can access that way. Colloidal silver is also antibacterial. Um, this one you want to be very careful with how much of it that you're taking, because it doesn't get processed in the body like other metals and things like that. It's not naturally occurring within our bodies, and it can lead to turning your skin like a bluish gray. But that's only if you eat like a whole bunch of it. Colloidal silver is got like nanoparticles of silver, and as long as you're taking it the way that it's directed, I don't think that's going to happen to you. I've had it multiple times and I'm not blue. So, obviously you're going to want to do your own research on these kinds of things. This isn't medical advice. It's just, these are things that you can take to assist your body in healing. That's what food was here for. It was made to support us. These plants are made to support us and heal us, and I think it's really great when we can work with nature and take advantage of that, and give our bodies the building blocks that it needs, the nutrition that it needs to replenish its cells, because we have cells that are dying constantly every day and cells that are being replenished every day. And if you're not giving your body the nutrients that it needs to rebuild, then you're rebuilding with depleted blocks, basically. And that makes us more susceptible to illness as well. Our diet is also something that we can consider when we're trying to remain healthy in times like this. Obviously good hygiene practices, making sure that you're washing your hands after you cough and sneeze, making sure that you wash your hands after you touch raw meat or raw eggs, and keeping your spaces clean so that you're not cross-contaminating with other things, making sure that your food is properly cooked. Also, a balance in your diet. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing too. If you're eating too much meat, that can be an issue. Meat, when it is broken down in the body, meat is high in purines. So like, if you're eating a lot of red meat is highest in purines, and then I think it goes down like meat, pork, chicken, maybe, I'm not even sure fish has purines, but the purines turn into uric acid in the body. And then if you have an abundance of uric acid in the body, that's when it goes into your bloodstream to get rid of it. And that's how you get things like gout, and you get pain in your joints and all different kinds of not very pleasant experiences. So that's why it's important that we're eating the correct amount of meat if we are eating meat. I think the American Heart Association says that a female is supposed to eat like 4 ounces of meat in a day, and a male is supposed to get like 6 ounces, like 4 to 6 ounces of meat in a day. And growing up, some of us were taught that we were supposed to have that much in a meal, and we're supposed to have 3 meals a day. So when we look at this, we see why there's so many people with so many heart problems. And these things aren't really taught to us in a really good way. I think our nutrition class was maybe a couple weeks out of the year, and then that was it. When nutrition is something that should really be taught to all of us so that we can maintain our health. and live healthy lives and be able to show up for the people that we love and that we care about without being burnt out. Because if we can't sustain ourselves with our diet and we're not working with nature, we're working against it, and we're fighting with all of this pain and all of this burnout, and our energy is lacking because we might not have enough iron, or we might not have enough of B vitamins. We're being taught that we're supposed to deal with our traumas with just drinking it away and numbing ourselves to things that are going on around us. Then we're paying a price for that within our body. Our liver is paying a price. It's working overtime. And the more that we put into our bodies that is working against our bodies, the worse our health is going to be. And it's really sad because there's a lot of people who are suffering silently and doing the best that they can to numb the symptoms instead of addressing the root cause of the problem. And if we can get to the root cause of the problem and start giving ourselves the things that our body needs to heal properly, then we wouldn't need all of this medication. We wouldn't need to take so much time to heal from being sick, because our bodies would heal us naturally. And I think that's what people forget, is that our bodies have a natural immune system, and it's going to even try to protect you even when you're poisoning it. So can you imagine how much better it would be if you stopped poisoning it? If you just allowed it to do its job? And how much happier you would be, because I think they say something like over 90% of our serotonin is produced in our stomachs. That's a lot. And serotonin is very important for your mood health. So if you find yourself having anxiety or depression, you can ask Google, what can I eat that's going to help me to be in a better mood, or to help my body produce more serotonin and things naturally, so that you can actually feel better. But you also have to realize that once your serotonin is up, if you're feeding yourself poison, it's going to reject it. The serotonin also helps your body to eliminate waste. It triggers your response in your stomach to actually vomit. So if you've drank so much to the point where you don't physically get sick anymore, even though you're drinking a whole bunch, chances are your body is probably not producing the same amount of serotonin that it used to. And that's a big red flag for you. Also, there's an amino acid that is found in meats that is linked to, if we eat too much of it, it makes us more susceptible to viruses like COVID and the flu and things like that. And turkey is super high in it. I think most of our meats are probably around 3 or 4, and then turkey's a 14. So it's a big difference. And then we wonder why we go to things like, Thanksgiving dinner and then everyone's sick. And a lot of it has to do with the food that we're eating, and the fact that we're eating so much, and the kind of food that we're eating, that is contributing to the fact that our body is getting sick. I think it's L-arginine. Don't quote me on that. But if I find the article, I will post it below, and you can look at it there. But yeah, and we have some really interesting chemistry that goes on within our body, and a lot of us aren't even taught that we have any control over these kinds of things. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and I hope that you guys stay healthy and you do your own research and you ask your doctors about things that are happening within your body and maybe make a plan with them. A lot of them probably aren't going to have the time to sit down and make a diet plan for you, but they might be able to, um, get you with a nutritional dietitian. Maybe you can go about it that way. But I hope this video helped somebody. Like I said, I'm not a doctor and this isn't medical advice. I'm just a girl who has her Google PhD. So feel free to look. There are plenty of articles on PubMed that are available to everyone. So I hope you guys take advantage of that resource and really start advocating for yourselves and your own health. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day and things start to calm down for us after this eclipse and going into the fall season. Fall is my favorite season. But if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'd love to see you guys next time.